Okay, so I'm just calming down here because I was just nearly involved in a road rage incident. I was driving along in a school zone, a playground zone, and there was a car in front of me that I was following, and the guy behind didn't like that I was not driving through the car in front of me and going quicker. And then he was like freaking out and tried to pull over. Anyways, it's just, what a lunatic. Anyways, I'm here in a neighborhood in Calgary, Alberta, and I'm going to do some neighborhood shots. I thought I might do some urban photography for this episode, and I might sort of try and take some abandoned houses, some spooky houses. It's Halloween coming up. I just kind of thought I'd theme it a little bit. So that's what I'm going to be up to today, and hopefully there'll be some fun pics that come out of that, and of course you'll see the results of it. So thanks for joining me on my channel and my subscribers. Welcome back, and hopefully I can get through the day without any more outrageous behavior on the behalf of people. Thanks. See you in the video. Bye. Okay, so I did some shooting in and around some urban areas, just in the alleyways nearby. And then I was walking around and I saw this park, and there's a splash park that obviously isn't in use right now, so I thought that might make some good sort of abandoned kind of pictures. So I'm going to take a few shots of those, and we'll see how those turn out. Might be kind of neat. Let's try and get a pan out. We can try and stitch those together. Yeah, we'll see how those turn out. Back in the at the computer, and I'm going to do some editing in Lightroom Classic, and in this one we're going to be looking at some presets, color presets, and we're going to be editing a scene of an alleyway. So let's just dive into that and decide which one we're gonna. This one's looking quite good. This was just an alleyway with this sort of decrepit garage or garage out back. Let's change it. I'm just going to fly through some edits, and then we're going to get to some different kind of edits later. So I'm going to do the usual stuff. I'm going to prep it like I would any photo, adjusting the main under the basic tab of Lightroom Classic. I'm going to adjust the shadows here, because it's a bit dark in there, and all the vibrancy and all that stuff. The theme of today is urban photography. I've largely done landscape photography, but let me just adjust the luminance here. I've largely done landscape photography, but the urban area is a landscape itself, the urban landscape. So I don't mind doing both, or even street photography where you're capturing people. But anyways, this is, as I said at the beginning of the video, sort of supposed to be a sort of they're going to do some sort of regular urban shots as well as some sort of abandoned type places and some looks like that. So for this, I'm going to show you some of the techniques you can use under the presets, which is a real quick way that you can adjust the color. Let me just put a vignette on this guy quickly. So yeah, you can adjust the colors and have using these presets. In Luminar Neo, it's a bit like using the mood LUTs, or there are presets in Luminar Neo as well. So if you open up the presets tab here on the left, as you can see, and then you go down. Oh, this is the history tab, right? Going in here, you can see some of the things I did, which is also a nice feature. You can just click on each one and see the changes that you made. Anyways, did I choose one there? Anyways, let's open up the presets tab. You can see some of the ones that I typically use that are already open, and you can just hover over them, and it'll show you the kind of changes that's going to make to the actual image. So bearing in mind that I want this to sort of have an abandoned, desolate theme today, which is kind of hard on this photograph, I admit, because it's got a rainbow on the garage, so that doesn't exactly scream desolate, but anyways, that's the mission. So let's just see if we can find one. I like this C14 one a fair bit, so I'm going to select that, and along with the other choices I made, I'm going to leave that one there. I like the look of that. Okay, and in this one, at a decrepit old house. It is actually a lived-in house, I'm pretty sure. There's some art installations, like it's almost like it's not actually that old looking. It's got like an art installation, which you'll see, and outside, well, you'll see. But let's have a look at this one, and then we'll also be looking at a sort of a square that has some art installations of some sea can containers that have art on them, and there's some good background imagery of the city and autumn colored trees. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, and let's open up this one. This house was kind of a fun house, and it really fits the theme of sort of a dilapidated looking house that looks a bit down on its luck and maybe abandoned. But it's also, I think, a bit of an art piece. Like, they have these art installations on the outside, and nearby there's a funky old vintage car, which I'll show you the end result of later. Anyways, let's just go in and start doing some adjustments. Of course, I'm gonna boost up the shadows and stuff, and let's increase. You can click into the number and hit up, the up arrow or down arrow to get to the number you want, or you can use the slider. There's lots of different ways to do it. So let's adjust the shadows and the whites there. We'll probably cut down on the highlights a bit more. And let's just go through some of these things here. I mean, unfortunately I'll just adjust this one moment. Unfortunately for the idea that I had, that was like these abandoned places for this theme today, it was such a beautifully blue sky day, which doesn't really shout sort of eerie or sort of downtrodden. So I'll adjust the saturation in the sky in a lot of instances on these images. Good old lens correction tab here to adjust those sorts of things. And let's go to I'm going to just boost up the luminance here, the midtones. And then in a moment I'm going to go to the presets, and
You can use this color mixer to just drop down the overall luminance. Like on the highlights, you can select shadows, midtones, and highlights. That's useful as well. Kind of like a mini tone curve. It's not really, but it's being able to pick out those exposure levels how you want. Anyways, let's do it. Make a few more adjustments in here. It's, you know, I wanted the texture to be a little bit more to show that sort of chaotic mess that this house is. And then let's see, what am I going to do? I'll maybe drop down the clarity so it's got a bit of a fuzz, but it still has texture, a little touch of texture. So that's sort of counterintuitive, but I think it works. I'm going to just play around with the verticals and stuff here. You've got the auto option there. You can do level, which obviously is level V for vertical, or you can just press full and it'll do all of them. But sometimes it does, you know, like, look, I don't want that. So I'm just going to sort of do it a little bit more individually here. I find the auto one usually works the best for me. And then I'm just going to play around with the colors a little bit, just to give a little bit more differentiation in the image, because there's a lot of sort of white, dull gray. There's the pavement or sidewalk, which is gray. You've got this concrete end cap, which is right here, which is gray. And so just a bit of color in there. So let's play with the crop now. And then it's looking good. I'm just looking over it and seeing what we can do. Let's open up this. I like to you can expand and collapse these side panels. So when I'm working on one, I'll collapse the other. So if we look at these, I mean, sometimes I get a bit of sort of recency bias. Like I can make a perfectly good edit to a photo that I like, and then if I start looking through these, I can be, oh, this one's better. Oh, this one's better. And so you have to be a bit careful. You just don't like go crazy with that, and you're intentional. So, you know, that's what I'm trying to do here. I think that's looking good though. I should probably do the before and after for you guys, but I mean, you've seen it from the beginning, so you can see how it started. So I hope you like that one. I'll include that for you to have a look at. Let's look at this one. This one was a really nice image of this public art container, sea can, sort of public use space that they have. But I just thought with the city in the background and the bright and blue sky day, the colorful art and the really colorful autumn tree there, it's going to make a fun pick. So let's just go through some of the edits here. This one is, I mean, the exposure and stuff like that for this one is pretty good already. It doesn't need too much. It's a little bright, I give you. So let's reduce that down a bit. And then that kind of tends to make this container on the right a little bit darker, so we'll adjust that. But it's going all right. Like, these colors are looking good. And I might just play around with the composition in a little bit. Okay, so let's do the old lens correction. We'll do the chromatic aberration, and then enable the profile settings. And of course, we'll denoise. That'll take a little while. I might just pause for that for you. Okay, so then I paused, and invariably I forgot to start the video up again, so you can see some of these edits that I made in the history, which is useful to be able to see. You know, the sharpening, I added some red saturation to highlight some of the details in the containers and in the tree, and then I did a double dose of that, in fact. I did the same for yellows and the oranges. I reduced the yellows, in fact, and I did all the colors so they popped in these cans, and then I reduced the luminance in the sky so that it was just a little bit more subtle in there. So yeah, that catches you up with what I did there.
Okay, and in this one we're going to do a panorama split, sort of a merge of 3 images. And this was a view of the out-of-season abandoned splash park. And so I'm just going to be taking through steps to do that merge, and then the edits after to get the actual shot that I want.
Okay, and then I thought I'd do this panorama merge of these 3. This was the pool that the splash park that I was telling you about, and I did a panorama stitch of all 3. I don't really want the full spread of the panorama. I just took all of it just to get as much of the shot, just in case, as I could. But I'm going to edit it down for what I want. But I just thought I'd go through this. You select all the ones you want, you right click, and then hit panorama merge. So these are the different options: spherical, cylindrical, perspective. I don't really know the technical, what those different, I mean, I think it's obvious when you click on each one of them, the distortion and what it's doing is building it in a different way, but I usually just play with all of them and pick the one that I like best, which tends to be perspective. Anyways, here it is building the result, which I submitted, and it's going to just build that. Now, of course, sometimes I think I've changed my settings, so it, where did it go, the built one? Let me just find it here. No, it's not any of these, because it should be a nice wide shot. It might be back at the beginning. Let's just reduce thumbnails so I can scan over them. No, it's not there. I don't know where it is. Let's move up. Oh, right, yeah, there it is. And that's pretty good. I mean, it's such a, like I said, it's such a bright, beautiful day that it's kind of unfortunate that it's looking so good when I'm trying to show this sort of desolate side of things. But anyways, so let's go to the develop tab now that all this is, I've played with it all. Got camera faithful selected, of course. I've played with some of the colors under presets, and I'm just going to dive right into the crop. Now you can see what it played with, the extra area when we selected, if you remember when we did the panorama merge, we selected automatic crop, so that's why there's all those other areas that we didn't see before. Anyways, I'm in the crop section here, and I'm going to do my own custom crop. Because I want to drag it past this very last sort of feature of the pool area on the left. Won't it let me? Oh, no, we don't want that. Oh, we're locked. Wait up. I want custom. No, let's unlock it and do custom. And there we go. That's what I wanted. And let's just push it right to there and up there. And I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's got the area that I want. Just gonna play around with this a little bit more. And I'll probably bleed off a bit of that blue sky. And I might even do some sharpening up of the building in the background here, but let's just bleed off some of that blue sky, like I said. There we go, it just makes it a little bit more pale. I think that's good. That's looking good. And do we want to play with presets anymore? I mean, you can just go forever and pick one, and sometimes this is nice as well, like you can pick a preset and then adjust the amount of impact that preset has on your image. So if you like it a little bit more subtle on there, but leaning towards that decision, you can slide it back. You can increase it and have it even more intense if you want. Anyways, let's do these just for the hell of it. And then maybe we'll do the transform thing. I'm just going to use this paintbrush to select the actual building, and then I'm going to sharpen up some of the details and just make a few edits to that by itself. It's going to detect the area that I brushed over. As you can see, it's done a pretty good job there. And I'm going to just play around with all these. Yeah, I think that's looking good. Let's make the shadows a bit better. Now I'm going to come back in here, and I think that's looking good. Oh, what I might do is there's this crane that's on the hill behind, which I don't really love, so I'm just going to draw over that, and then my pen's being weird. What's going on? Let me just adjust this a moment. Bear with me, please. Okay, that's working. There we go. And then just down into there, and that's pretty good. Now let's see how that deals with that area. It's going to just using. I object to that using AI. It's probably not AI, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. And that did a great job. So let's export that one. I like it. Okay, and in this one, we're going to be looking at the Lightroom Classic feature, Adaptive Color. It's under Profile Settings under the Basic tab. And I'll be showing you how that really helps in images that have a lot of problems with exposure. This is a street photo, so I didn't have time to set up a tripod or do quickly set up a bracketed shot. This is a way that can help you, easily capture some of the exposure levels that you might need. It's really useful, and you could probably do a lot of this manually, but this just kind of cuts through a lot of that and allows you to get to the endpoint sort of in a way that helps you have a quicker workflow. So that's sometimes useful. So let's have a look at that. Okay, and here's this one. This one was a really neat shot. There's a lot of construction in the area, and they're building this, I don't know, a set of new condos or something, and I captured this shot of these people walking past a crosswalk. There's a cement truck nearby, but they're passing in front of that, and it's from within this tunnel of scaffolding from this construction area. Now, if I were to go and try and do this on my own, it would be a right fight to to get it sorted. So I'm going to use this setting, adaptive color. So that's just under the profile settings, and it cuts through a lot of the aggro of doing that. Like if I had exposed one area, it would have done everything and been global, but this does a really good job of capturing some of that detail for you. And then of course you can go in and do some fine tuning, which I'm going to do here. And you can see that the highlights right here in the truck are blown just very, but I mean, it's like a highlight on chrome. That's not a really big deal. So I don't really mind that too much, but let's just adjust it a little so we can see even more of the details in the shadow. I'm just going to play around and fiddle. I'm going to adjust the blacks. And I'll probably reduce the colors a little bit more, because we're gonna play with the theme and tone of the color by making it a little bit cinematic with some of the colors. I mean, that's what I usually follow for cinematic coloring, is this kind of a little bit more washed out. So let's just go to color grading and make some changes in there, a few more. We're already on midtones. I just want to increase that a little bit. And let's play around with the darks as well. I'm just going to push that so it's not up against that left edge at all in the histogram. And then I'm going to play with the shade, the colors in the shadow. I'm going to make cool, and I'm going to make the highlights a warm color. This is sort of some of the color grading and stuff that you can do in presets, but this is sort of doing it in a manual way. I'm just kind of showing both techniques. I mean, you can be infinite in there. You can do the highlights, the midtones, and the shadows with color grading. So it really is very, very flexible in that way. So let's just go through. I mean, no, I don't need to do that. Let's just play with the, this one has a lot of vertical lines, so I might just make sure those are nice and vertical. And then let's play with the final crop. Make it more of a sort of a cinematic, anamorphic crop ratio. And I think that's looking good. And yeah, I think that's well, let's export it. Okay, well, I hope you liked some of those techniques and some of those images. Let's go ahead and see some of the rest of the shots from the day and some of the kind of fun, abandoned-y kind of ideas that I was going for. All right, well, I hope you liked some of those images, some of those techniques. I hope you liked the video in general. Thank you for returning to my channel as always. Thank you to my new subscribers.
please feel free to add any comments about anything that you've seen today. And I'd love to, if you could like and do all that jazz, like and subscribe if you want to. Come back next time and join me for whatever I get up to. I don't know what that'll be, but hopefully it'll be fun. And don't forget again to check out the blooper at the end of the show today. Today isn't a great one, but it's just a little fun feature that I'm trying to do if I have them, which invariably I do. Anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Bye.